Lost last night. Hello, James.
Silver Fox, how's it going?
Good, and you?
Yeah, good to see you, Andrew.
Are you standing up or are you
Uh,
sitting down?
you hear me okay?
Yeah, yeah, you're all good.
Okay, good, good.
And how's things?
Fine, fine, thank you. Yeah, it's all good, thank you.
Okay. All right, we'll just kick off now. I'm just going to wrap end it. My name's Andrew McKenna. I'm the founder of the African Turf Academy. We do this series of mega interviews just to interview the guys around the world in the turf world. James Walker has joined us today he was a student of the African Turf Academy back in our early days. He's now at Gleneagles in Scotland, loving the weather,
Yeah,
summer. We're gonna hear about his journey and to where he's got to. So, Jamesy, kick it off. I'm going to start with some simple questions first,
sure.
right? The Open or the Masters?
The Open, without question.
Is it? Okay.
Love.
Braai or barbecue?
Well, it's definitely a bribe, but I'm afraid I've had to swallow my pride and call it a barbecue over here.
No, you can't do that. They must get used to you, not the other way around, right?
Of course,
Uh,
right.
yeah. And the last one for now, Scotland or SA?
Well, I have to say Scotland for now, Andrew.
No, you don't. You got to be honest.
Well, yeah, I mean, well, there's no point being in a country and missing home. Yeah, look, I love South Africa. It'll always be my home. I miss the warm Gulf, um, miss the briars, all the things you've mentioned. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it here. Loving links golf. So much to see and so much to experience still. So yeah, definitely say Scotland for now.
Okay.
But yeah, the weather might get to me eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that later when we talk about your future.
Okay.
And I know your boss very well, so I'm going to be careful how you. I won't get you into any trouble. All right.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, JD. So tell us about how you got into golf, how you ended up at ATA. Start with that.
Sure, Andrew. I came to golf late. I'd always seen golf. My dad played golf very casually. I mean, I would play probably once a year, twice a year, and just be an absolute hacker. Was in my final year at university. I was studying a Bachelor of Arts in English Literature and History to be a high school teacher. I was at the University of KwaZulu-Natal in Pietermaritzburg, and it was just perfect timing. My parents moved on to the only golf estate in Pietermaritzburg, Victoria Country Club. They opened to an estate, and being a BA student, I had a lot of time, and yeah, I started playing. I think my first handicap was like a 16. Bearing in mind, then I was about 22 years old,
Mm-hmm.
and towards the end of my degree, Andrew, I just started getting, I studied the Bachelor of Arts with the intention of teaching, and it just didn't pan out to what I wanted to be. I didn't finish the degree. I probably could have finished it, but it just wasn't I didn't see a future in it. And spending so much time on the golf course, living on the golf course, I never forget that a John Deere triple mower used to come out every day and wake me up in the mornings mowing the greens. And I got very interested, and the greenkeeper at Victoria Country Club, who's still there now, Cribben Gounder. I mean, it's a small world. He's connected with Sue de Swart. He worked with Sue at Leopard Creek. Just a very highly regarded man, and I just thought, let's have a look at this. And yeah, Andrew, I sat him down and I just asked him questions. He let me just hang around. I didn't work. I hung around to see what he was doing,
Mm. Mm.
and it was just a little window. And I literally Googled greenkeeping South Africa, and you guys were the first thing that came up. Back then, you were obviously Silver Lakes Golf Academy, now the African Turf Academy.
Mm.
And I cold called Derek. I cold called Derek straight away, and I just said, I see you guys are starting up. I think the year was starting in February, and I just said, are there still spots available?
Mm.
he said, yeah, I mean, it all happened pretty quickly, Andrew.
Yeah,
Didn't
yeah.
take too
No, I
long.
remember it. I
Yeah,
remember it well.
yeah,
Okay, and then in the beginning of the next year, along came James Walker,
yeah, exactly.
and for me, you're still one of the most proactive, energetic, passionate students we've had. I could name a few others, but I don't want to pick out any one individual. But definitely one of the standout students we've had. Doesn't surprise me that you've carried on and pursued it. But then you followed on, and what James did so well, and it's something Justin spoke about the other day. He kept putting more in than what was required from the program. He would do extra work. He would do extra practicals. Then he started working. I mean, I'm going on my memory now, so correct me if I'm wrong. But
Yeah,
you started doing more work with Servest at the time, and with Nikki, and with Johan, who was here at the time. And then you started to actually work in the team here, didn't you? While you were studying.
yeah, yeah. I mean, Andrew, I mean, you were still very new then. By that I mean the academy, and it was very much a mixture of guys who wanted to be greenkeepers and guys who were really. I mean, you have such a great facility for pros as well. There were guys in my class who were more interested in being golfers than greenkeepers, and that's fine.
Yeah, we still have that. We don't want to lose
Of
that.
course,
Yeah,
of course.
yeah.
Another thing, Andrew, I was 24 when I came,
Mm,
um, and most of the guys there were just out of school. So this was my last chance in a way, not to be
mm.
over dramatic, but this is what I knew I wanted to do, and I kind of got on with it. I mean, it's you guys set it up beautifully. I'm not here to punt it all too much, but I mean, you guys have practicals, you guys have college work, you can play golf as well. And yeah,
Mm.
Johan
Well,
and
I didn't get you on here to punt it for me, but not at all. It's more about your journey. We've
oh,
come a long way since then, but we're trying to get better all the time. But I will never want to lose that playing combination of greenkeeping, because that's what I think attracts the guys to our program. And it attract if you're here for the greenkeeping, you work on your golf. And if you're here for the golf and you get exposed to the golf course management side, maybe you take that journey as well. And we've had lots of that. We've had both.
yeah, I think it's a perfect mix, really. I mean, I would never have found out about it if I hadn't started to play golf casually. And
Mm.
yeah, I mean, I've heard you debate it with a number of guests on this interview about, playing golf as a greenkeeper. I think it's crucial. Look, there's hundreds of guys out there who don't play and they're great greenkeepers, but for me to understand playability, how the golf course plays, to deal with members, to actually understand what they're talking about. And
Mm.
love it. You're creating a product, go and enjoy it once in a while.
Yeah, absolutely, and understand what the member wants. Yeah. Okay, so then you went on to you experienced the Alfred Dunhill links, didn't you?
That's
Yeah.
correct.
Okay.
I went to King's Barnes. Innes Knight, who's still there now.
Yeah.
It was just eye opening, Andrew. I mean, I'd been at Silver Lakes the whole time, to see a top golf course, highly regarded and stuff. To see tour
Mm.
players, to see pros, to see it all come together in a tournament. I
Mm.
mean, I cut tees all week, and
Yeah.
it was great fun. Great fun.
Yeah, it seems to be a real tipping point for the guys when they do get that tournament experience to push them over into the industry. That's why I'm constantly working on trying to get more of that in place for our students, because I was talking to one of the guys this morning who's graduated, and that's what the one thing was when he went to Dubai. I don't know if did you go to Dubai?
No, no, no. I didn't.
I
I
think
didn't.
I think that was before your time, wasn't it? That opportunity.
Just after, I think.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah. So you were before, you didn't get that opportunity. Okay, so then you went off to the Ohio State program when you graduated.
Yeah, Andrew. Yeah. Look, I mean, even in my first year, and sorry to take you back, but in my first and second years, I did Leopard Creek twice, which was also
Mm,
great. I mean, Neville, who you've had on here, Neville Venholt, just a guy who's just so willing to teach you, to show you. Derek Muggeridge, who's still there.
mm, mm,
So, I mean, as a student, a great thing was you guys were having. Do you remember you guys had the amateur at Silver Lake?
Yeah, the SA Amateur Championship. Yeah.
And I mean, Johan and Dean, who's also a former student, they needed sort of some overtime in preparation for the tournament. And all I did, I mean, I'd never used a mower in my life. All I did was show up. And I mean, I did the crap jobs. I mean, I had to returf. Do you remember digging up, like, I had to dig up bricks, like an old car path. But they needed that done. They needed that done. And I think the first mowed something, they unleashed me on the driving range. And that was fun. But yeah, and then just showing up for a month, like literally every day for a month, because I wanted to learn. Johan and Dean very, very kindly, they gave me an opportunity as a apprentice. We called it an assistant in training. So I mean, Dean was the assistant, and again, that was important for me, Andrew, because Dean was a little bit older than me. We got on really well, and it's like a friend to me. It was just really great to work every day and enjoy it.
I still need to get Dean on in here. On here.
But yeah, Andrew, I spoke to you towards the end of the first year, and I remember clearly sitting in your office and asking you, "What's a goal I can set? You know, what should I be looking at?" And you definitely said, "No, you know, America, Ohio." So I was so eager. I'd even spoken to Mike O'Keefe a year before, you know. And then we had Fortune. Fortune came and spoke to us. He had done the program, and it was definitely something I wanted to do. So yeah, I applied. I went through the process, and Mike placed me at Congressional Country Club. First of all, which was awesome. It was unbelievable. And then I did my second 6 months down south, and obviously the Florida swing. I was at Lake Nona.
Okay, and that must have been an awesome experience as well.
Yeah, no, I see Tinas is saying hello. Thank you very much. Nice to see you, Tinas.
Yeah. No, Tinas is also doing well. That doesn't surprise me either. Okay, so you've now tell us the story from Ohio State. You then found a job, didn't you? You got a job through some of our contacts. You know, some guys that we had. Actually, Cameron Campbell's dad. You told me the story in in Harrogate in January. I didn't even know.
Yeah. Also, as Mike has said on this before, you know, it's very big on networking. It's, you know, meeting people from all over. You meet them at tournaments. And the big thing at the time is the GIS, which is this America's version of Harrogate, which is just
it's the golf industry show.
Yeah, you've been, and I bumped into Andy Campbell there because Cameron was there, and Andy said that there's a new golf course in the UK, in England, JCB Golf and Country Club. The head man, Ewan Grant, who's also a highly regarded man, he's looking for guys, and I'd find one or two. I mean, I'd been offered one or two opportunities at GIS, but it was all seasonal work. Now, for me to get a visa to the UK, I had to get more than just 6 months work, and I could understand they only needed seasonals. They didn't need full-time positions, but this was a foot in the door. This was a full-time job at a brand new golf course, and I think the difficult thing for your students, which I was very lucky to have, is my grandmother is from England, born and raised. So I could apply in South Africa for something called an ancestral visa. So it gives me 5 years to live and work in the United Kingdom. 2018 I finished the Ohio program, and I went straight to JCB, obviously via South Africa to get my visa. And I joined the team as just it was called an assistant greenkeeper, but Callum Walk was the head greenkeeper, and then they had an assistant already, Simon, and then I was just one of the guys, which was great. It was great to just get into the UK, great to get to a new club, and I tell you what, I remember James Bledge talking about G West, and it's one for the future. JCB's, it's looking amazing, and it's definitely one for the future, Andrew. I think they plan to host some tournaments, so it's very exciting.
Yeah, the visa issue is a big problem for us. It's that's why
Yeah,
I predominantly, a lot of the guys we speak to are Dubai and Saudi and
yeah,
the US and Ohio State's a good in, but then they have to find work afterwards. But still, things change all the time. You never know when that's going to change. But UK, the only way we can get our students into the UK is if a company sponsors them, like gives some sort of sponsorship, meaning they're prepared to commit to a year or two employment. I'm not sure what the rules are, but many clubs aren't prepared to do that. So we're still working our way around that.
yeah.
Okay, so you started at JCB, and then one of the guys back here says that you didn't know how to pick up a spade when you got to. You don't never seen a shovel like the boys from Stoke.
Yeah, Harvey's the apprentice at JCB Golf and Country Club. He's cheeky, as you can see. So I'm
Yeah,
not going to
and
reply.
and Sellers says he taught you everything he knows.
Yeah,
Who's
just
that?
just George Sellers. They're just teasing Andrew. Just never mind.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. And then, okay, now you ended up to Gleneagles working with Craig. So that's a great opportunity for you, working under a great mentor like Craig.
Yeah, yeah, unbelievable, Andrew. Just yeah, there was an opportunity here, and I took it. It wasn't that I wasn't enjoying myself at JCB. You know, it was a difficult decision because JCB is such an exciting place. It's new. There's some tournaments on the horizon, but something I've sort of done in my very short career so far is just um, I've chased growth. So I could have stayed at JCB in the same position, or I could have come to Gleneagles and have a little bit more, just a little bit more of a bigger role. That's all. The new place, Scotland. It's colder. The climate's different. You know, for me, this is the biggest place for growth for me at the moment, and that's the job.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so how does it compare Scotland? What things do you notice are different between Scotland and South Africa in terms of greenkeeping? In terms of the operation, you had some experience down here. You've now got a lot more up there, but the difference in the way an operation would work up there. Is there a difference?
Definitely, Andrew. I mean, it's smaller, more qualified teams. Um, you know, guys have said it on this interview before. Um, I mean, Andrew, to give you an example, most of the guys that I work with have more work experience than me, if not double. Um, and pretty much all the greenkeepers on our team have at least an NC or are currently studying an HNC, which are the Elmwood qualifications here in the UK. Guys are very qualified and they've put in the hours. As the word is, they've been on the tools. And yeah, it's it's been great for me because I've joined a team where I can learn more from everyone else. And in South Africa, I think not to take anything away from that, but it's a head man and assistant, and then you've got a lot of guys who it's a job for them. It's a 9 to 5. Whereas here, most of the guys here are passionate for what they do, and they're not afraid to get their hands dirty. Um, Obviously, there are more obvious differences like weather. So straight away, you've got different grasses. Um, so something that I've noticed as a player, Andrew, as just a golfer, is something I really miss is, and I think something that is maybe I'm being biased, and someone can correct me online here, but I really miss the club atmosphere that South Africa has. Silver Lakes on a Wednesday, my home club in South Africa on a Wednesday. Those places are packed. You know, people are socializing. They want to play golf and they want to see their friends. Um, Maybe it's a Northern Hemisphere thing, but I don't see that here. I don't see that. I don't see.
Yeah, the guys tend to pitch up in a 1 ball or a
Yeah,
2 ball, quickly play golf and go home.
yeah, and it's
Yeah.
sad, sad in the same way. I noticed that in America as well. You know, Congressional, Lake Nona, they're churning out the most exquisite golf courses. and the guys played him and obviously loved him. But I miss that. I miss that sort of friendship and bond we have afterwards.
Yeah, they play golf for a different reason up there. They play golf for golf, whereas in South Africa they play golf for the fun, don't they? The golf is almost a byproduct, but also the weather has it. I'm sure in Florida, in Lake Nona, isn't it? Is it more like South Africa, or is it more like what you're talking about there?
No, definitely. Andrew, Lake Nona was a phenomenal facility. Obviously, with the program, Mike likes to send us south during America's winter because
he just joined us there. You can see.
Okay, hi Mike, how's it going? It got colder there, Andrew, and I got to experience an overseed at Lake Nona, which was amazing. Brandon Ritchie and his guys. I mean, Brandon runs that facility just like a well-oiled machine. You've got, I don't want to name drop, you've got tour professionals living at that facility. So there's a tour professional practice facility and short game facility. There's a facility for the rest of the members, and then you've got 18 holes. So you've got to really produce a product there that's, top of the top.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, part of that.
Okay, and then coming back to your situation now, your mentorship. Have you developed some mentors? It doesn't have to be one; it can be several. Have you got some over the years?
Oh, definitely, Andrew. I mean, I've been so lucky that everyone I've worked with has been willing to help. I still keep in touch with Mark van der Linde from Servest. I still, Cribben Gaunda at Victoria Country Club. I go visit him the moment I'm home. He's the first person I want to see. Callum and Ewan at JCB have been great. Can still chat to them. Mike's played his part. I chat to Mike when I need to, and when he, it's great to catch up. You see a whole lot of people that you don't even work for at Harrogate, at GIS. Obviously, I'm working for Craig now, and he has a big part in my career at the moment.
So you're surrounded by the Scottish boys in Gleneagles are surrounded by the Saffers.
Yeah, it's probably looking a bit dodgy at the moment, Andrew. But just pure chance that there's two of us here.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So, what advice would you give our guys now entering the industry? So now you're back. Take yourself back 5 years ago. Things are quite different at Silver Lakes. I don't manage the club anymore. I just focus on the golf academy. Back when James was here, I was running around like a headless chicken, trying to put out fires the whole time, stressed as hell. I'm not like that anymore, luckily. So, what advice would you give the students entering the industry now?
Andrew, just take advantage of every opportunity that comes your way. I mean, I'm willing to say that every student that's at your academy has already got a head start that a bunch of guys around the country don't have. You provide enough opportunity for the guys to take with both hands. I mean, the Ohio State program is a great opportunity for anyone who wants to do. I would highly recommend that program to anyone. If for some reason guys cannot afford to go on that program and they cannot get funds to go on that program, Andrew, just go to the club down the road. Honestly, anywhere. I mean, I've only had 5 years experience, Andrew. I've just got just as much to learn. I said 2 years college and some practical experience. Anywhere you go, you're going to learn, and that's great. Justin put it perfectly. Put your hand up. If there's a student, I think, do you have a student assistant at the moment who's assisting Nikki?
No, not really. No, it's not structured like it was. But we've got more opportunities. Matt Perry has come on board now and is offering us 4 to 6 scholarships for a 6-month period before they join Mike. So we've basically got 6 people a year who can go Silver Lake, African Turf Academy, 6 months in Dubai, working at the DP World Championship, all the way through to the Dubai Desert Classic, finish up with Matt and go to Mike. And after Mike, then like you are, you'll be kind of reliant on making your own network. At some point, I have to let go.
Yeah. Well, Andrew, look at that. I mean, sure, not all of your students can go on that, and I'm pretty sure the guys that do have earned that and deserve that. But just put your hand up and go somewhere, like anywhere, 2 years experience, you've got it all to learn. So anywhere you go, even if you start at the bottom, because I think, and I'm guilty of it, that's why I say it, is we progress quite quickly because of what the academy provides. And we can get quite impatient. But just getting your foot in the door as a normal greenkeeper anywhere, you're going to gain experience. And I promise you, your work ethic and your attitude, people will pick up on that immediately. And I'm pretty sure if you're working for the right person, if they can't give you more, they're definitely going to find someone who can.
Yeah, I had Alejandro Reyes on last week Thursday, and he was brilliant what he was saying, because he was saying the same sort of thing. It's get involved and start working, work your way up, be committed, be passionate, do your job well. Your boss will notice you're doing that, and eventually an opportunity will come for you. When it comes for you, take it. And I mean, great stories that he came up with on Thursday. I loved this chat. But he was 31 when he got the opportunity at Le Golf National.
I was very lucky to meet him very briefly at GIS in the States. But yeah, I mean, I've still got so much more to learn. I've only got 5 years experience.
Yeah, he started educating himself in turf when he was 13.
Yeah, I mean, guys here in the UK have amazing apprenticeship programs. You would know that. So the age of 15, they can choose no longer to go to school anymore, but they can then go to a college and do an apprenticeship.
Yeah.
I mean, Laura here, she's a senior greenkeeper on the Queens. She's got 13 years experience, Andrew. She's been greenkeeping since she was 15 years old.
Okay.
So these people I get to learn from.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well that's great. And your favorite golf courses in Bonnie, Scotland?
Ooh. The favorite one I've played, Muirfield.
Oh, okay, you played Muirfield. I've never played. I've played almost every course in Scotland, but I haven't played Muirfield.
I just name dropped that. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I played a European Tour event on the Ryder Cup course, whatever they call it these days. I played many tournaments on that course, and the Queens and the Kings, but the Queens and what do they call it? Centenary course. What do you call it these days?
PGA Centenary course.
Okay. When it first came out, it was called the Monarchs or something.
Yes, I stand to be corrected, but yes.
I think it was the Monarchs. Okay.
And what are some of your handful of favorites in Scotland?
Inland, there's some great ones in Dundee area called Blair Gowrie, and what's the one in Dundee? Forget now. But then there's just too many. The links ones, I would go. You're putting me on the spot now. Skibo Castle.
Okay.
And Dornoch, and then Nairn. They're magnificent.
I've got a book called A Course Called Scotland. Have you heard of that?
No.
By Tom Coyne. Get that book, Andrew.
Is it?
Oh man.
Yeah, I did my last 2 years of school in Dumfries.
Okay.
So my parents are Scottish, and I did my last 2 years of school there. And then I played the Tartan Tour and when I was on and off the Challenge Tours, European tours. I played a lot of golf in Scotland.
I really want to go to sort of Cruden Bay, that sort of area.
Yeah, there's some great courses there as well. They're everywhere there. Everywhere you go, there's a great course.
Yeah.
To pick one out is unfair. Troon, Turnberry.
Yeah.
They're all amazing. All right, Jamesy. Anything else that you want to? Any closing thoughts?
No, Andrew.
Considering what you're doing on the show, you're here to be a mentor yourself now.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm here for the students, Andrew. So if they have any questions, fire away. They can very easily get hold of me on Instagram. You have my South African number, which is still active on WhatsApp.
Okay.
So I'm very happy for you to give that to a student. They're more than welcome to contact me.
Yeah, I think what we want to do going forward in the academy through this interview series is instead of me just interviewing the guys all the time, is that we get the guys in front of the students so that the students can learn directly and ask questions directly. So maybe we can get you and be a mentor of the program from your sort of in an intermediate position from say a Craig and a Carmen, and then there's James in the middle, is still progressing through the ranks.
More than happy to help, Andrew. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. And Instagram accounts. What's your social media details?
It's
Let me just whiz through my questions to make sure I've covered everything. I've got a few more quick ones for you at the end.
I am James Walker. So
I am James Walker. Yeah.
yeah.
I looked at it many times. I thought it was Ian James Walker, and then today
Yeah.
I realised it's I am James Walker. Okay. Last three questions. Jack or Tiger?
Tiger because of his comeback. If he hadn't had his comeback, I would have gone with Jack.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. The sea or the bushveld? For those of you who are not South African, the bushveld is like the countryside, but it's not quite the same.
I'll go see.
The bushveld is where the lions and the giraffes hang out. Okay. And then last one, Rory or Brooks?
Rory.
Rory. I haven't had anyone say Brooks yet. And Brooks to me is an interesting character. They're both very interesting characters.
They are.
Okay.
Yeah. I haven't always been a Rory fan. I won't lie. But definitely prefer him to Brooks.
Okay. So are you finished work now for the day?
No, I'm on my lunch break.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. All right, well, you better get back before your boss gives me into trouble for keeping you too long. Thanks for coming on, Jamesy.
No,
I will now. Hey?
You're welcome, Andrew. You're welcome.
Yeah, and then so what we do with this is stays on our Instagram TV, and then I actually convert it into a little podcast, and I'll send that to you in the next few days.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
All right, Jamesy, thanks a lot. Get back to work. Go and continue learning, and don't be scared to take the plunge one day. Soon, you gotta be the boss at some stage. I mean, I ran a club. Probably, I mean, where's Silver Lakes in terms of size in South Africa? Top 10. I mean, it's not top 10 golf course, but in terms of, I took that plunge when I was about 33, and so you're nearly there, buddy. Nearly there.
Really.
Yeah. So get learning, get your confidence, and prepare yourself to. And there's Christoph Els just joined us there. Look, from the States. You know Christoph, right?
Yeah, man with the smoothest swing I've ever seen.
Silky smooth. All right, Jamesy. Thanks a lot, buddy.
Andrew, thank you.
We'll chat soon. All right, cheers.